I was standing in what I thought was our basement when my foot went straight through the floor. The old Victorian house we'd just inherited from my grandmother came with its share of surprises, but I wasn't expecting to discover a hidden room beneath the basement. As I pulled my leg free from the rotting floorboard, my flashlight beam caught something that made my blood run cold. Stacks and stacks of letters. All addressed to me. All in my mother's handwriting. My mother died when I was 8. At least, that's what my grandmother told me. Car accident, she said. Quick and painless. I'd spent the last 27 years believing I was an orphan, that my grandmother Ruth was all the family I had left. But here were hundreds of letters spanning decades. Letters my mother had written to me every single month since her supposed death. Birthday cards. Christmas wishes. Updates about her life. Apologies. So many apologies. My hands shook as I opened the first one, dated just 3 months after the funeral I remembered attending. My dearest Sarah, I hope you can forgive me someday for leaving. Your grandmother convinced me it was better this way. She said you'd have a more stable life without me. I'm in rehab now, trying to get clean, trying to become the mother you deserve. I send these letters to Ruth every month, hoping she'll give them to you when you're ready. I love you more than words can say. The next letter was dated a month later. Then another. And another. Years and years of my mother pouring her heart out, telling me about her recovery, her new job, her desperate wish to see me again. In the later letters, she begged my grandmother to at least tell her how I was doing. Did I graduate high school? Was I happy? Was I dating anyone? The most recent letter was dated just 2 years ago. Sarah, you're 33 now. I know Ruth probably never gave you these letters, but I keep writing them anyway. I'm healthy now. I've been sober for 15 years. I have a little house in Oregon, and there's a room here that's always been yours. I dream about the day we might meet again, but I won't push. Ruth made her position clear years ago. I just want you to know that not a day goes by that I don't think about you. You are my heart walking around outside my body. I collapsed onto the dusty floor, surrounded by evidence of the most devastating lie I'd ever been told. My mother was alive. She'd been alive this entire time, writing to me, loving me, missing me. And my grandmother had hidden it all away like dirty secrets in this makeshift tomb. The rage hit me like a physical blow. Ruth had stolen my entire childhood. She'd let me cry myself to sleep for years, mourning a mother who was very much alive and desperate to see me. Every Mother's Day, every birthday, every moment I'd felt that aching emptiness where a mother's love should be, it was all because of her lies. I spent 3 days in that basement, reading every single letter. I learned that my mother, Linda, had struggled with addiction after my father left us. Ruth had used that against her, painting her as an unfit parent and threatening legal action if she ever tried to contact me directly. So my mother had poured her love into these letters instead, trusting that someday Ruth would do the right thing. She never did. By the time I climbed back upstairs, I had a plan. Ruth was 92 now, living in the assisted living facility across town. She thought she was taking her secrets to the grave. She was wrong. I loaded every single letter into boxes and drove straight to Sunset Manor. I found Ruth in the common room, playing bridge with her cronies, acting like the sweet little old lady everyone thought she was. "Hello, Grandma," I said, setting the boxes down with a loud thump. "We need to talk." The color drained from her face when she saw those familiar envelopes spilling out. "Sarah, I can explain." "No need," I said loud enough for her bridge partners to hear. "These letters from my very much alive mother explain everything perfectly." I started reading them out loud. Every heartbreaking word. Every desperate plea. Every expression of love that Ruth had denied me. The other residents gathered around, their faces shifting from confusion to horror as they realized what they were hearing. "Mrs. Henderson," one of them gasped. "You told us your granddaughter was an orphan. You've been lying to everyone?" Ruth tried to stand, tried to leave, but I kept reading. "This one's from Christmas 2019. My dearest Sarah, I saw a young woman at the store today who looked just like you might now. She was laughing with her children, and I wondered if you have children too. Am I a grandmother? I would give anything to know. The room was dead silent except for my voice and Ruth's ragged breathing. Stop, she whispered. Please, Sarah. I did what I thought was best. Best for who? I snapped. Certainly not for me. Not for my mother, who spent 27 years wondering if her daughter even knew she was loved. I pulled out my phone and showed everyone the contact information I'd found in the latest letters. I called her yesterday. My mother. She cried for 2 hours when she heard my voice. We're meeting next week. After 27 years, I'm finally going home to her. Ruth's bridge partners were staring at her like she was a stranger. Because she was. The kind, caring woman they thought they knew had never existed. She was a thief. She'd stolen my childhood, my mother's rights, and an entire lifetime of love. I've also contacted a lawyer, I announced. Grandparents' rights don't extend to kidnapping a child from their living parent through lies and manipulation. I'm exploring every legal option available. But the real justice wasn't going to come from courts. It was already happening. I watched Ruth's carefully constructed reputation crumble in real time. Her friends turned away. The staff looked at her with disgust. She'd spent decades playing the martyr, the poor woman who'd sacrificed everything to raise her orphaned granddaughter. Now everyone knew the truth. She was the villain in this story, not the hero. I left her there, surrounded by the ruins of her lies, clutching one of my mother's letters. The last thing I heard as I walked out was one of her former friends saying, "Ruth Henderson, I am ashamed I ever called you a friend." 3 weeks later, I'm writing this from my mother's kitchen in Oregon. We've been talking nonstop, trying to fill in 27 years of missing pieces. She kept my baby photos. She has a scrapbook of newspaper clippings from my high school graduation that she somehow tracked down. She never stopped being my mother, even when I didn't know she existed. Ruth died last month. Alone. The funeral had 6 people in attendance, including the pastor. I didn't go. I was too busy living the life she tried to steal from me. Some lies are too big to forgive. Some betrayals cut too deep to heal. But sometimes, the truth sets you free in ways you never imagined possible. Have you experienced something like this? Tell me in the comments.